Hi guys, welcome. I'm Jen Burson. We're going to kick into 5 tips for writing PR quotes that will be inspiring, that will really dazzle the audiences you're trying to connect with, whether it's, editors or TV producers or whatever. We also are going to talk about why client quotes are essential for showing industry authority, and then how you can use emotion to add meaning and value to your client's quotes. This is one of the easiest. I say easy because our journalist contacts are looking for sources. They are looking for ways to add more credibility and validity to their articles. So it is a really powerful way to get your clients in the media, having them featured as an expert source. And they can offer quotes and anecdotes about specific topics that show off their industry expertise or their entrepreneurial expertise. All of it contributes to the credibility of your client as an authority, as a thought leader, as an expert in their space. And we know that every so often you will have a client that is not available for comment. Not one of those PR things like no comment. And you are going to have to step in and write the quote yourself, or kind of help finesse or repurpose something that the client has already written. We know this can be really intimidating. You don't have to stress about it. You have niche experience too, right? When you niche down and you choose clients based on what you know how to do and what you love and where your contacts and info that you've accumulated over the years, when you have that industry expertise, you can put that to use and write stellar quotes for your clients' features. You can also plan ahead. And if you sense your client is very busy and might be challenging to get a hold of, you can sit and interview them on a Zoom, record the Zoom, ask them a bunch of questions, and then take all of that, use it to craft pitches. Clients love doing this, by the way. They love talking about themselves and their businesses. You can anticipate the kinds of things you might want to pitch and start asking them, and then take their responses and craft quotes or sound bites or even larger pitches, like if it's multiple steps that they share. So I'm going to share my best tips for writing these powerful PR quotes for your clients that are going to show off their industry expertise and fulfill all the needs that your media contacts are coming to you for. So when do you need a quote from your client? Journalists will need something during their normal writing process. So journalists are going to either respond to a pitch and be like, we would love to get your client's thoughts on XYZ. No matter the niche, quotes from industry experts, they're going to enhance the journalist's article, make it more authoritative, more credible, and you're going to read the article, or whomever's reading it, and they're going to trust more of the content because it's coming from a proven expert. So this is a great way, like I said, position your client as an authority, build industry expertise, credibility in their niche. And clients are usually only quoted if they're experts or thought leaders in your niche. So if you worked with product-based clients, their founders may sometimes be featured as experts. Your client might also work with experts in their field while developing their products, and those experts could offer quotes in the founder's place. So they're not speaking on behalf of the founder, but they are talking as an advisor, a strategic advisor to the company. But absolutely anybody can be quoted as an expert in the media when you align their credentials, their experience, their know-how with the right pitch, the right journalist. So that's why we love just really niching down, because then you know those people and you can make those connections. So the five strategies I have for you to write a stellar PR quote for your expert client. One is, let your quotes tell a story. Sure, maybe you don't have access to the journalist's full article when they request a quote, but you still need to make sure that your quote flows in their story. So this isn't the time to spit out a bunch of facts and stats surrounding your client because they're probably not relevant to the story, or maybe those stats are already coming from some other place in the article. Your client might only get a sentence or two to make an impact, so the quote needs to be as powerful as possible, pack a punch. So think about how your client can provide meaningful, valuable information that will enhance the final article. Why are they being asked for a quote? What are they uniquely qualified to contribute? And why should people care about this specific topic? I think it's important just to ask yourself these questions. Why are they being asked for a quote? What are they uniquely qualified to contribute? And why should people care about this specific topic? And then also focus on emotions over facts. So targeted details, emotional depth will help move the story along and really engage readers. It could be like that struggle they overcame and the emotional journey that they take the reader on of like their challenges and then how amazing it felt to overcome that. It's got to have some emotion, authority, passion, something that will hook the reader in and have them and the journalist and want to use it because it's really a powerful quote. Your media contact may use the quote to provide a point, maybe a counterpoint, or call people to action. So let those quotes be powerful in a short amount of time. Number 2, leave out all that jargon. It's going to ruin the quote. Not everyone knows the technical industry terms that you or your client does. You have to remember that this quote needs to fit into an article that'll be read by everyone, from niche experts and your client's audience to people on the internet who see an interesting headline and they just click, right? Unless it is in a very technical trade publication or some kind of article that really is focused on deep understanding of technical specifications and stuff like that, try to avoid that jargon. Quotes that are full of jargon require further explanation and take up space in your editor's article, in your media contacts article. If your quote and its explanation uses too many words, it's probably easier for them to just cut it and reach out to a different expert. And we don't want that. Our contacts are usually working with a word limit. So short, sweet, simple, to the point. It should convey your client's expertise and provide value to your media contact and to their readers. Number 3, cautionary tale, word of warning: do not use ChatGPT to write a PR quote. Ever, ever, ever. It is easy to turn to AI, whether it's ChatGPT or Google's Bard or another program that can write a quote when you're in a pinch. But journalists can always tell when you've used AI for your quotes, always. And you don't want to take that chance. You're not going to be in a good place if you try to outsmart them. The AI quotes are robotic. They are void of real emotion. They are detached. They're written by a computer, not a real person. And the media contact reached out to you for your client's experience. They don't want a vague, generic quote in that response or it to feature in their article. They could have just done that themselves, and there's no credibility in it. So always write PR quotes yourself. Have your client come up with something, even if you're responding to last-minute requests. And that's why we like having some content on hand that we can use, repurpose, customize it just a little bit, but still sound like your client's own words, so that if you have a last-minute response, you can't get to your client, you still have something to submit, and you're not going to AI to help you meet a deadline. Use your creativity, be as original as possible. When your media contact adds the quote to their final article, it should be clear to the reader that an actual person said this. We love ChatGPT. It is really good for a lot of things, but any content you create for an article should be totally original, based on your client's specific expertise. Number 4, give yourself and your experts some time. So best case scenario, your contact may give you a few days to pull the best quote for them, but it's not always the case. Sometimes it's a few hours. So either way, you need to schedule some focus time to deliver on the request. So if you're writing the quote in place of your contact, set aside time, write a solid quote, do any research so that you can ensure accuracy, run the quote by your team so that they can make sure it really reads well or does sound like the client. Step into your expert's shoes and write the way they would. Think about their voice, their tone, how they would express that point, and leave yourself time for revisions and edits. If you have that time, really use it to round out that quote. But if you're getting a quote or some kind of talking point from your client or an expert on their team, reach out immediately. Give them as much time as possible so that they have time to answer, and you have time to maybe revise the quote, review it, edit it for context, content, proofread it. And if they send you a quote full of industry jargon, then you can rewrite it yourself or hop on a quick call to get a better or more simple quote from them. And if they send you a whole paragraph, try to cut it down to a sentence or two. So that's why we love this database idea of quotes from your client that they can contribute early, do what I said, record that Zoom, transcribe it, pull quotes from that, and now you have a database that you can pull from and edit whenever you need it. And then number 5, you always have to check for accuracy. You cannot send out a pitch that's littered with errors. So always, always, always check your facts, proofread. You want to check grammar, spelling, all of it before responding to your media contacts. Journalists, they're juggling tons of deadlines. They're pressed for time. So you want to make their jobs easier and do the final checks yourself so nothing will pull them away from just using it, and they might just be like, this person sounds like a dummy, I don't want to use it. You don't want your quote to kind of fall through the cracks because the journalist is like, what am I supposed to do with this? There's too much here. This is a big part of being a partner, a trustworthy source to your media contacts. It is not just being fast, but delivering excellent, edited, final work quickly. You don't want to be the bottleneck, but you also don't want to sacrifice quality and accuracy for speed. And then when you're writing a PR quote for your client, make sure everything is attributed to them correctly. So there's going to be no chance to be able to edit or proofread. You're not going to get that chance once you hand it off to the editor. So ensure that their name, their title, any credentials or certifications they have, or awards that might be relevant to the credibility of the expert, they're properly spelled out and they have the correct dates where applicable, like Allure 2023 Best of Beauty Award winner or winner of the 2022 Booker Prize, something that lends itself to the credibility, gives a year so that it's clear that they're currently well regarded in their industry. This is not someone who was relevant 20 years ago, but they're still in it to win it, and that all of the spelling is accurate. So, that's what we have. It's something that is going to come up, and the more expert features that your clients have, the more momentum that you start to build for them. And that's what I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for being here. I will chat with you guys soon. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.